So here we are on break. My eggs and my hash browns. Knowing that we will have some kind of lunch thing at work anyway in 2 hours. I'm like, no, I need breakfast. Don't care. I forgot how damn bad Monster tastes. But even though I slept a lot last night, like 9 hours or something like that, I was still tired. So I got a couple of those. I had a beer and I don't know how, I just kind of took a little sip of whiskey off the bottle, and an hour later I was passing out in front of Resident Evil 4, which is actually what I'm here to talk about. I think I'm at level like 2-3 in Resident Evil 4. It is really good. The graphics will not blow you away. It will not. It does not look like Crysis. I got dirt on my head. It doesn't look like Crysis or anything like that. There are some parts where it's like, damn, the textures in some spots look really good, and then in other spots they don't look so good. If you wanted me to nutshell this game, and I'll nutshell it when I'm done. I believe, according to how they marketed this game, it has all the content from, it's like the PS2 and the Wii version is like all the content that's in those Ada Wong missions and all that stuff. What else? 60 frames per second, man. I mean, you wouldn't think that would be a considerable bullet point, but when you're used to playing that game at whatever the fuck it ran on, and on like the PS2 and the GameCube and all that, it's pretty damn surprising. Like when you just start moving, like for the first time, like you hit that forward on the analog stick and press A, and you pick up a jog. It's like, wow, this looks so smooth compared to what I was used to. And I've beaten that game like a dozen times. Like I've owned it for practically every console you could get it on. I might have even owned it on both PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't remember. Like, I think I bought it like 5 times. So, it's like Resident Evil 4. If you listen to the podcast, I kind of stated that Resident Evil 4 is kind of like a more modern day version of like those old Doom games. Not in terms of gameplay, but I buy Doom on almost everything that it comes out for, because it's just whatever modern platform I happen to be using a lot. So I bought Doom 2 on the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance, the PC, the Xbox, because I got it with Resurrection of Evil, Xbox 360. I mean, point is, whatever system I'm playing at the time, and they have an updated version of Resident Evil 4, and I'm like, okay, let's get this Resident Evil going. So, it like I said, it looked amazing in 60 frames per second. Graphics do look better. This is not a remake. It's just up-resed. But it's really good, but it's also kind of disappointing at the same time, because you have like, they could have used this as an opportunity to put a lot of new content in the game, because this is probably the last hurrah for Resident Evil 4. And a lot of people like me are like, Resident Evil 4 was the last good Resident Evil I played. In fact, it's the only Resident Evil I really, really enjoyed. There's good things about those old games, but the controls and the saving system and just the puzzles and all that crap just didn't interest me. I kind of want a modern day old Resident Evil game. That would be fucking awesome. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing that they didn't even, like, I mean, shit, dude, if they had released a whole bunch of unlockable costumes. Like that would be a big deal to me. They could have put a lot of new content in this game. I mean, I wouldn't want to break it, but this game, now I'm going to nutshell it like I was going to do earlier. This game is for people that want to play Resident Evil 4 again and are not demanding anything dramatic. Because this game is not a remake. It's not Black Mesa, Source, that Half-Life remake. It's not like those Resident Evil games on the GameCube, which were total graphical overhauls. It's not that. It's just HD. So, but with that said, if you're that guy that wants Resident Evil, if you're me, and you're crazy, and you buy Resident Evil for fucking everything, you're in luck. Because it's $20. That's a pretty decent price. Even better price if you wait and get it on sale. But I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. I'm kind of just ruining this for the podcast already, but it's good. This is still kind of first impressions kind of stuff, but I played it for about 5-6 hours, and I really enjoy it. I was falling asleep with the controller in my hand last night because I was so tired. So yeah, that is about it for Resident Evil 4. I think not this podcast, but the next podcast, I will be talking about Resident Evil 4 in its entirety. I don't think I'm gonna fuck around with the like the Ada stuff and separate ways or whatever they call that, or I think there's like I don't remember for a mercenaries mode. I don't care about that. Anything that makes me run for a timer, like to get more time and shit like that, that's instant frustration to me and just bores me to tears. So, anyway, I might try to upload this at work, but connection's not so great out here. So, that's all. Wait for the podcast. I really hope to get one going Friday. But my contacts are not exactly getting back to me. If you or anybody else you know wants to be on the Video Gamecast, just find it on Facebook. Just look up Video Gamecast. My YouTube is Gabe0083. I think I just go by Video Gabe on there, but you should just be able to find me. Just Google Video Gabe. If you can't find me anywhere else, you'll track me down. I am desperate for help, so I don't care who you are. You'll be fine. I'm nothing special. I'm just a dude that plays video games, and I mean works full time. I'm at work now, so I just try to find whatever time I can to play games, and then I kind of I like to cover games. I like to talk about games, and I don't like the podcast to be super serious. I like just kind of going down rabbit trails and talking about whatever we feel like, and it's just I think there's room in the podcasting world for a game that's not strictly a news podcast, because you got this podcast like Epic Battle Cry that are mostly news, and those are great. There's nothing wrong with those, but if you're like me and you listen to a lot of podcasts, I can only handle about 2 gaming podcasts a week. There's CAG, and then there's Giant Bomb. I used to listen to 4, because I drive an hour a day. You know, it's at least an hour of road time if I'm making good time. And problem with that is you start hearing the same news stories 3 times, and you just kind of get sick of hearing it. So I used to listen to Weekend Confirmed, and Giant Bomb I've been listening to the better part of 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Practically back when they started. And Ryan was still around, all that. So, yeah, what else did I listen to? Yeah, I think it was Weekend Confirmed, Giant Bomb, and CAG is kind of a new thing for me. I started listening to them about a year ago, so. Point I'm making is that I don't want to go on and on and on about news. I kind of cheat and just go to Giant Bomb and steal their news stories. I don't plagiarize, but I know that Giant Bomb only reports on important stuff, and that's good to me because I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time either. So, anyway, thank you for watching this video, and please track me down. I need downloads. I don't get a lot of podcast downloads, and I think that my guests bring a lot to the table, and they really do make this show what it is, and they're really worth listening to. And I'm not gonna talk about me because I'm not gonna tell you you should listen to the podcast for me. It's arrogant. So anyway, thanks for listening.